Hello, Rama Rama Pupodu. Hope all are good, having a nice healthy life, peaceful, feeling relaxed, and happy always. Now let's continue with chapter 15, part 3 Krishna, Christ, and Buddha. On the day fixed, Ramdas started from Surat towards the north. Ramcharan Das traveled with him for a few stations and then parted company. At Ujjain, Ramdas had to break journey. He stopped in a dharmashala for the night and the next day set out again. In the train, a young Musalman met him. Sitting by the side of Ramdas, he recounted his sorrows. Ramdas spoke to him about surrender to God as the panacea for all the ills of life. He wished to know a way to control the restless mind. Ramdas asked him to repeat the Ram mantra. Arriving at Bhopal, where the train halted for 30 minutes, the Muslim friend provided him with milk and fruits. As Bhopal was his destination, he took leave of Ramdas with God's name on his lips. It was midnight when Ramdas reached Jhansi station. Passing the night in the passenger shed, early morning he made his way to the city, which lay 2 miles from the station. He went direct to Mahadev Prasad's house. At the sight of Ramdas, Mahadev Prasad was convulsed with joy. He fell at Ramdas' feet, kissed them, and rising, embraced him again and again, tears streaming down his eyes through uncontrollable emotion. It was over 2 years ago that Ramdas had remained under his hospitable roof for months. With that affection and kindness did he then look after him. His longing to see Ramdas again must have been indeed intense, as it was obvious from the manner in which he received him. In the evening, Ramdas met Ramkinkar, the devoted friend who, with such studious care, has tended to him on his journey to Badrinarayanan. He was also beside himself with delight on seeing Ramdas. His stay was decided to be in the Ram Mandir in which he had resided on the last occasion. Hence, Ramkinkar led him to the temple. The old Pandaji was there. He came out to welcome Ramdas. His huge frame trembled with emotion and he repeatedly hugged Ramdas to his bosom. Next day, news reaching the other friends, they came in large numbers. Crowds collected in the temple in the evenings, and Ramdas delivered in English his knowledge of Hindi, being still poor, his message of love and joy. Followers of different prevailing sects and creeds held talks with him either to clear their doubts or to press their views on him. He appreciated their varied standpoints and reconciled himself to them because, after all, it was the Lord who had enacted this variegated world play. It was given to him to see and love him in all. Ramdas had a visit to Sipri Bazaar, where also he met many friends, and returned to the city. Now he expressed her wish to live outside the city. A place was pitched upon named Atkamba. A small building consisting of a single room and a veranda stood on the far corner of the lake, Lakshmi Talau. At the edge of the lake there was an 8-pillared minaret made of red stone with a beautifully shaped cupola after the style of the Mughal architecture. On account of the 8 pillars, it came to be called Atkamba. To sit on the pedestal of this structure facing the lake is to view a charming sight, the still waters of the lake reflecting as if in a mirror the surrounding scenery. A peepal tree spread its extended branches over the building. A stone image of Hanuman, besmeared with red paint, stood below the tree, enclosed in an open, rocky chamber. Ramdas dwelt in Atkamba for more than a month. Crowds also gathered here in the evenings. Ramkinkar kept him company during nights. Mahadev Prasad did not fail a single evening. Sometimes Ramdas would go out in the mornings for long walks over hills. On one of the hills, he came upon a temple in ruins with its idol of a goddess, made of white marble broken to pieces. From the top of this hill, one can have an extensive survey of the country all around. He would spend hours here in the refreshing breeze, in calm meditation. He also paid visits to an old saint in Shyam Chopla. His childlike nature attracted Ramdas to him. He was fond of narrating the account of his wanderings when he was young. He had passed through thrilling experiences. His mandir was situated in a jungle far away from the city. Two well-preserved tanks drew many devotees from the city for their daily baths. Ramdas had the privilege of coming in contact with another saint, Nirbayandanji, and his spouse, Purnandaji. Both the husband and wife had adopted sannyas and were clad in orange robes, a typical pair who had devoted their life to the service of the Lord. They belonged to the well-known Pilikoti ashram of sannyasis in Chitrakoot. At the time of Ramdas' stay in Jhansi, they lived in a small garden house remote from the city. Both of them were exceedingly kind to him. Mother Purananaji was really a pure and loving soul. In this connection, it must be placed on record that for Ramdas there is none impure or sinful, although he might express the particular purity and greatness of the persons he came across. His task is merely to chronicle his experiences with regard to the events that befell him and to people who came under his observation. His presence the history in the light of dispassionate witness of God's Leela. For the world is his manifestation in which he expresses himself in a multitude of forms, assuming various characters. Ramdas looks on all with the same unclouded vision, and his love for all is alike. Be they saints or sinners, he does not see any difference. It is the Lord who plays all the parts in the world drama. An Englishman named Abbott, desiring to see Ramdas, motored him to his bungalow. Abbott and his aged sister received Ramdas on the veranda. The English mother talked in high admiration of Jesus Christ and his teachings. Ramdas perfectly agreed with her in her laudation of the divine teacher, but her enthusiasm carried her so far as to speak in contemptuous terms of Sri Krishna, Buddha, and others. Mother, Ramdas cannot be one with you there, he told her. He holds Sri Krishna and Buddha in the same high estimation as, if not higher than, Jesus. You are speaking of them as you do, because you have not understood them. Similarly, there are Hindus who speak disparagingly of Christ without knowing him. The mother combated his view and started attacking it by arguments, but he remained silent. Abbott did not like the way his sister spoke and tried to pacify her. However, she stopped and Ramdas took leave of them. Ramkinkar and other friends of Jhansi proposed that Ramdas should be made conversant with Hindi, because many people who came to see him did not understand the English tongue. They felt that they were losing the benefit of his talks. So one of the friends undertook to coach him up in Hindi. He was provided with the first Hindi primer and a slate and pencil. He felt that he had just been enrolled in the infant class. He received an hour's instruction from the kind teacher every day. His progress was rapid. In 10 days, he finished the first primer, and in 5 days more, he passed through the second primer. Then he commenced reading books in easy Hindi, such as Bala Ramayan, Life of Samarth Ramdas, and Gita Shankaraha. He also started editing letters in Hindi. Ram Navami, the celebration of the birthday of Sri Ramachandra, was fast approaching, and Ramdas bethought of witnessing the festival in Chitrakoot, where they said it was performed on a grand scale. So one day he announced his intention to the Jhansi friends that he was to start by an evening train. Ram Kinkar and other friends came to the station to bid him farewell. Ramdas was to travel alone. That's all, folks. Let's see in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Puppodu.